Hey friends, and welcome to this new video dedicated to Garten of Banban. Today we are going to talk about so many really interesting things, because as you know, yesterday chapter 8 was finally released for Android. And in this video we will discuss exactly this release. But not only that. In fact, we will also ask ourselves what is happening with the Apple version. Why hasn't it been released yet? What are the reasons for this delay? On top of that, we will also talk about the console versions. Indeed, the developers wrote a message about these versions. And of course, we cannot miss a part dedicated to the future of the series. We will also talk about Chapter 9. In this video, we will make some considerations and theories. There are really a lot of things to discuss, and I can't wait to show you everything I've gathered. But before we begin, as always, I remind you to leave a big like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any updates about Garten of Banban and all the upcoming chapters of the series. Your support is really important and helps me bring more and more content like this. So, get ready, because today we will discover together all the latest news, the behind the scenes, and also some surprises about the future of Garten of Banban. Let's start with the topics. Let's start by talking about the Android version. As I said before, Chapter 8 of Garten of Banban was finally released yesterday on Android, and many players all around the world have already had the chance to download it and try it out. The community reacted immediately. A lot of users have already shared gameplay, screenshots, and even their opinions about the first hours of the game. And of course, the developers also released an official trailer that briefly shows us some of the new areas and the most intense moments of this chapter. Now, I will also show it here in the video so we can comment on it together. One of the first things I noticed, and that many players are also reporting, is that unfortunately at the moment there is no option to change the graphics of the game. This means that if the game does not run very well on some phones, we cannot lower the graphic quality to make it smoother. It's quite an important limitation. I also tried the Android version myself, and as some of you already know, I uploaded some videos about it on my other two channels, PaninoTube Plus International and PaninoTube Gameplay International. On these channels, I have already published important scenes taken directly from Chapter 8 on Android, and also comparison videos with the PC version. I recommend checking them out if you are curious to see the differences between the two platforms. Some sections look really good even on the phone, while others feel a bit heavier. It's really interesting to make this comparison because it helps us understand how the developers adapted the game for mobile. And here comes the big question that many of you asked me in the comments. What happened to the iPhone version? Because if it is already available on Android since yesterday, on Apple devices it is still not there. This is a very important point, and we will talk about it in the next part, because the developers already answered this question. In fact, Faris has published an official message that explains the situation and tells us the reasons for the delay of the iOS version. Right after this, I will show you that message and we will analyze it together to better understand what is going on with the iPhone release. Now let's talk about the Apple version, because here the situation is a little different compared to Android, and it has caused quite a lot of concern among fans. In fact, right after the game was released yesterday on Android, many Apple users started wondering why they still couldn't find Chapter 8 on their App Store. The comments were filled with questions, and many thought that maybe the developers had decided to delay the release, or even worse, that they had cancelled the iOS version. To clarify the situation, Faris himself stepped in and published an official message to reassure the entire community. In this message, he explained that the Apple version already exists, it has been completed and submitted, but right now it is still under review by the platform. This means there is absolutely no risk of cancellation. The game will definitely arrive on iOS. We just need to wait for the review to be completed. For those who don't know, every time an app or a game is uploaded to the App Store, Apple runs a review process before making it available to the public. This phase is meant to check if the application respects the guidelines, if it works properly, and if there are no security issues. It's a normal procedure that sometimes takes only a few hours, but in other cases it can require several days. And this is exactly the reason why the iOS version was not released at the same time as Android. It's not a delay chosen by the developers, it's simply a technical matter related to Apple's review system. There's nothing to worry about. The Apple version is ready and is just waiting for the final approval to be released. Sure, we cannot know the exact number of days it will take, but it's almost certain that there won't be any issues. Very soon, All iPhone and iPad users will also be able to download and play Chapter 8. This is really great news, because it means the wait is only a matter of time, and there is no danger of the game being blocked or cancelled. So, to recap, Chapter 8 on iOS is not delayed because of the developer's decision, but only because it is waiting for Apple's review. We just need a little patience, because once this phase is over, the game will finally be available on all Apple devices, and everyone will be able to enjoy the new adventures of Garten of Banban without exceptions. Now let's move on to another very important topic that interests many players: the console version. After clarifying the situations of Android and iOS, we also need to talk about what will happen on platforms like PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. About this, Faris published another official message, where he explained that regarding the consoles, we will still have to wait a bit. Unfortunately, it was not specified how much time will be needed exactly. We don't have a precise date or even a clear release window. But one thing is certain: the wait will not be as short as the one for the PC version. This means that console players will need to be patient, because the porting will take more time and cannot happen immediately after the release of the main versions. It's a piece of news that surely disappoints a little those who hope to play already in the coming weeks. But at the same time, there's also a positive side we should not forget. In fact, the console port will not be handled directly by the EUPHORIC brothers. Instead, it will be entrusted to Feardemic. This is a very important detail, because it means that the developers, Faris and Gepo, will not have to slow down or interrupt the development of the next chapters to take care of the console versions. In other words, while Feardemic works on the porting and optimization for PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch, the EUPHORIC brothers can continue focusing entirely on developing Chapter 9. This choice allows two works to move forward in parallel. On one side, Feardemic works on the console versions. On the other side, Faris and Gepo keep developing the story and the new areas of the next chapter. It's a strategy we have already seen used in other franchises, and it's very useful to avoid delays or overloading the main developers. So even if the wait for console players will be a little longer, we can be reassured that the overall development of the saga will not suffer delays. On the contrary, having two teams working on different tasks ensures that future content will still arrive within the expected time. Sure, we still don't know when we will be able to get our hands on Chapter 8 on consoles. But it is reassuring to know that the project is already planned and that professionals are already working on it. In conclusion, for those who play on consoles, patience will still be needed, but the good news is that Faris and Gepo will not waste time on this front, and they will be able to focus fully on Chapter 9. And in the end, that is what matters the most, because it guarantees us that the series will continue moving forward without obstacles. Alright friends, that's all for today. We've seen together all the latest news about Garten of Banban 8, and also some important updates about the future of the series and Chapter 9. Let me know in the comments what you think about these news and which version you are most excited for: Android, Apple, console, or directly the new chapter. Thank you as always for watching this video until the end. Your support is really important. Remember to leave a big like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next updates. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.